right, it's time for Yang News of the Day, episode 33 for Friday, July 26, 2019. I am David D. This is PRM. Just a quick program note. If you're interested in following Andrew Yang, you're going to want to subscribe to my channel. I probably have 100 or so Andrew Yang videos. I plan on following him indefinitely throughout the primary season. So you always have a place to come to check out the latest Andrew Yang news of the day, some commentary, some thoughts, some opinions. Andrew Yang's in my top 3. So we cover Andrew Yang a lot here. So just throwing that out there. Make sure you subscribe and click the bell. All right. So Andrew Yang was on The Daily Show with Trevor Noah last night, and I have the transcript right here. So we'll go over that for today's Yang News of the Day, episode 33. Let's get into it. Trevor Noah said, "You only had 2 minutes and 53 seconds of talk time in the first debates." Andrew Yang said, "I'm happy to say that the debates in Detroit are going to be a different story. Not only is the format set up for us to succeed, but we just got a poll just now that puts us on the path for qualifying for the debates in September. And unlike a lot of candidates, we're set up to be in this thing the entire way." End quote. Yeah, that's the great thing about Andrew Yang's campaign, is that he's going to be in it for at least the next 3 or 4 debates. Like, he has the 130,000 unique donors. He has the poll. All the polls point to Andrew Yang polling, but above 2% or more. Last poll I saw was 6.6%. I've seen 4%. I've seen 5%. So as long as he stays above the 2% in those qualifying polls, he's good to go. He has the donations. So, like he said, he's like, we're set up to be in this thing the entire way. Trevor Noah said, "You've been known as the doomsday candidate because of automation and whatnot. What do you mean when you say this to people?" Andrew Yang said, quote, I did the math to what happened to many of the manufacturer workers in the Midwest. And in my view, what got Donald Trump elected and the trends that affected these communities are now going to affect retail workers, which is the #1 job in the U.S. Truck drivers are at risk too, as that is the leading job in 29 states. Amazon right now is closing 30% of American stores and malls and paying 0 in taxes. So what we do is we set up a mechanism where the people get our fair share of every Amazon transaction, every Google search, every robot truck mile, and put a dividend into every American's hand of $1,000 a month. The Freedom Dividend would help all Americans feel like we're benefiting from all progress and innovation. End quote. Notice Andrew Yang says mechanism. I think Andrew Yang has done away with saying tax, value-added tax, VAT. He's really changed up his language lately, and he's saying more vague words like mechanism, and that's just going to pull better with Republicans, liberals, right-wing Democrats, and people who are fiscally conservative. Like, he's just, because when someone hears the word tax, there's a visceral reaction. There's a reactionary response to it. So I think he's removed that from his language. Just something I've noticed. Okay. Trevor Noah says, there seems like there is negative effects of UBI. How do you pay for it, and how do you ensure that it doesn't mean people just don't contribute to society anymore? End quote. Andrew Yang said, well, when I have looked at the studies as to what happens when people got money, only 2 groups worked less. New mothers and teenagers who spend more time in school. And I don't think anyone has a problem with these 2 groups of people working less. This was met with a huge applause line, just robust applause. Yeah, it's like, if 2 groups of people are going to work less, it would be new mothers and kids, teenagers who want to focus on school. And we should let those people do their own thing. If they work less, it's still a benefit to society. You have mothers raising children, and you have people bettering themselves so they can get a better job and become better people. So, if anything, we want them to be working towards their goals of, and their daily needs of being mothers and becoming smarter people. So, yeah. And then Trevor said, how do you pay for it? He wants to know. Andrew Yang said, if you have a $1 trillion tech company like Amazon paying zero in taxes, then of course you're going to look around and be like, where's the money going? But if you give it to the American people, if you give them a slice of every Amazon sale, every AI-driven transaction, just a sliver, because the amount of value that technology is going to generate can literally be measured in billions and billions of dollars. We have to put ourselves in a position to benefit when we can pay for the dividend, so we can pay for the dividend of $1,000 a month. Okay, once again, Andrew Yang is setting up the VAT. He's talking about the VAT, but he's not saying it. This is, like I said, this is smart. If you want to get people who are on the fundamental pathological right, don't let them hear the word tax. Just don't say tax. Don't say value-added tax. Don't say tax. Don't say new tax. Forget it. Like my dad, he's a lifelong Republican. I started talking about value-added tax, and he lost his freaking mind. I mean, they have a visceral, reactionary response. So I think Andrew Yang has removed that from his dialogue. Anyways, Trevor Noah said, but how is that different to tax? Because, I mean, isn't it what tax is supposed to be? Everyone getting a sliver of what people make so that the general society can rise up. Andrew said, the great thing is I'm friendly with a lot of the technology people, and they are not evil people. If you say to them, hey, you are automating away the jobs and you're in the private sector, they're like, oh yeah, I am doing that. And Trevor said, that sounds evil to me. Funny. A couple more pages. Andrew Yang said, they're not doing it deliberately. It's just like a repercussion of their work. And if you say to them, would you like to give up a slice so that Americans can actually be in a position to benefit? You know what they say to me? They say, no one has ever asked me that before. Interesting. But half of them are on board with it because they are parents, they are Americans, and they're basically good people. So they want to help other people. Good people want to help other people. Okay, so Trevor Noah said, quote, you are tackling this campaign from a different point of view. One of my many favorite quotes of yours is that you are the complete opposite of Donald Trump. And Andrew Yang butted in and said, because the opposite of Donald Trump is an Asian man who likes math. Crowd loves it. Trevor Noah said, do you think you can break through with math and numbers that you are proposing? Andrew Yang said, what's fun is math is now an acronym, Make America Think Harder. Crowd just gasps. I mean, there was multiple gasps and a huge applause line afterwards. Andrew Yang was just winning this crowd over as the interview went on, to leading up to actual literal gasps. Okay, Andrew Yang had the crowd gasping. Okay, this is amazing, and he finished out this interview very strongly. Andrew Yang said, it's certainly not immigrants that are driving these economic problems. It's the fact that our economy is now progressing to a point where things have changed fundamentally. And when I go around to people in Ohio, New Hampshire, there's actually a huge appetite for this type of solution. People say to me all the time, you don't sound like any politician I've heard before, and they love it. They're not like, oh, someone get me a politician fast. What they're saying is that you don't sound like any other politician, and that is what we need. There's a market need, and I'm an entrepreneur, and you see that there's a market need here. In this case, I saw that our politicians were not going to address the elephant in the room, so I decided to run for president. End quote. Just huge applause lines at the end. Andrew Yang nailed this interview. He really showed up. It got exponentially better as it went along, and he won these people over. And this is a huge crowd to win over, the Daily Show crowd. Millions of people watch the Daily Show, and he just nailed it. He absolutely nailed this interview. Trevor seemed impressed, and they definitely had a solid rapport between each other. So I want to know your thoughts now. I need you to leave me a comment down below. I need you to like. I need you to share. I need you to subscribe if you haven't already. So this has been Yang News of the Day, episode 33 for Friday, July 26th, 2019. All right, so if you don't know, half my videos are being demonetized because I'm talking about politics. So if you would be so kind to donate as little as $1, small gift, small amount, I would greatly appreciate that. Become a Patreon. I'm thinking about content for my Patreon. I want to give you guys something extra. I'm thinking about it. It's in the works. If you don't want to do that, there's a PayPal link down below. Remember, small donations, just $1 or $2. That's all. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.